Well, hello, family. We're so glad you dropped by our at-home kitchen today. It's always a joy when the family comes by. And you are a very important part of our family, each and every one of you. And if you weren't there, we'd be missing you for sure. Today we're talking about weddings, because this is the season. Weddings, graduations, birthdays, showers. Everybody likes cookies anytime. Or maybe you just want to bake some good cookies for your family. Today and next week, we're going to show you 2 weeks full of ideas for cookies for special occasions. And one of the girls that works here, Laurie, and her husband, Larry, their oldest daughter, Elizabeth, is getting married. And so Laurie's like, what kind of cookies do we have to make? And Larry says, I don't care anything about this wedding, just have a huge, big table full of cookies. And you know, that's a Pittsburgh thing. You folks around the country are saying, what are you talking about cookies? Don't you serve a cake? Oh yeah, we have a cake too. But we have to have cookies. Like for instance, these are cookies when Paul's sister's daughter, our niece Kristen, got married. These were just some, we baked between 7,000 and 8,000 cookies for her wedding, because that's all she wanted. They had lived here and then they moved to Ohio. And she says, I want to show people in Ohio what we're talking about when we say cookies. And you can see we had a big pyramid, and then we just started making platters and platters and platters. We had a 12-foot long S-shaped table, plus the big pyramid at the end, all kinds, all shapes. We baked from the end of May till the day she got married in April 6th. And you know what? That was about 9 years ago, and she told me just recently, Aunt Arlene, they're still talking about the cookies at my wedding. So she got her wish. And our wish is that some of the ideas that we give you, that you're going to be enjoying them too, okay? So stay with us. We'll be back right after our at-home hint, and here it is. Decorate cookies with chocolate by placing cookies on a rack over waxed paper. Dip the tines of a fork into melted chocolate and wave the fork gently back and forth to make the decorations.
For updates, pictures, stories, and more, like us on Facebook. To watch hundreds of classic episodes, subscribe to us on YouTube. And to get hundreds of free recipes, visit ctvn.org/at-home.
Well, Tam, did you have a lot of cookies at your wedding?
I had a good amount, not as many as I probably, after seeing the pictures, I would.
Felt like you're a little slack on that, huh? But you know what, you only can do what you can do. But
right.
As long as you have some there, because we've all seen pictures of little grandmas trying to get them out to the car, you know, and because they want to take them home so they have them tomorrow. And, you know, they turn the key and then they fall on the ground. So Kristen actually had some bags printed up, and everybody got to take a bag of cookies home with them.
That's such a fun idea.
Yeah, I think it's great. Okay, what are you making now?
I am making a candy bar cookie.
Candy bar cookie. Okay, walk us through quickly.
Okay, and what I do first is I take a half of a cup of butter, and we're going to take a cake mix, and we have a Devil's Food cake mix that we're using.
Okay.
And we're going to put
Not the pudding kind. We don't want a pudding in it.
Okay. And we're going to put that into the softened half cup of butter.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a pastry blender to mix it all together.
Okay. That's going to make your crust?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And while she's doing that, I'm making, it's called almond cherry bars. And I have some cup of sugar, a cup of butter, and I have, if I put the glasses on, I'd really be able to tell you what I have in here. And then I have a cup of packed light brown sugar. And we did this ahead of time because this really takes a while for that to get nice and fluffy. And then to that, I'm going to add 2 egg yolks only, not the whites, just the yolks. Okay? Make sure we get all that out because we need that for moisture in there. Okay? Just let them blend a little bit. And then here I have my flour, and I have a little bit of cinnamon, teaspoon of cinnamon in my 3 cups of flour. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And this is baking powder. Okay? That's going to leaven it just a little bit because I'm making a bar also But this bar has a pastry type crust to it. So you want to blend your flour and all those things that I just added. And I'm going to stop my mixer and I'm going to add half of the flour. You still blending over there? Mm-hmm. Okay. You might have to get in there and work with your hands.
Okay.
Because sometimes the moisture of your hands will soften your butter a little better.
Okay.
And you want to go very slow as you're adding this.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Once that gets incorporated, make sure you get the sides cleaned down. And then you're going to stop it. You're going to add the last half. And this should be crumbly. We're not looking for a batter here. We're looking for a crumbled type of, there we go, mixture, because what I'm going to do, as you can see here, I have my 13 by 9 dish, well buttered, very well buttered. Just get nice and crumbly. Now, last step, I'm just going to add a cup and a half of sliced almonds right into this. Oh boy. Can you hear that? Sounds great. Let's take a look here and see if we need to scrape down what we need to do. You don't want to put, after you put the nuts in, you don't want to, the batter to go too much because it'll break down those nuts in there, and we don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do with this, so you've already spread yours all out?
Mm-hmm. I went ahead and put the butter and cake mixture in, sprinkled it into a 15 by 10
jelly roll size pan.
pan.
And then you're just
pressing it down to form the crust.
Okay. So the whole thing goes in there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm just going to push this back so I have a little room here to work. And I'm not going to use all of mine on the bottom crust. I'm just going to use about half of it. But you want to make sure that you go down in there and you make sure you got everything out of the bottom, that everything is combined, the sugar, the flour. Oh, look how rich in those almonds. Yummy. And then I'm just going to spoon about half of it, just like that. I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to press mine into place. And then these are called cherry bars, but you know what? Really, if you wanted to make them out of raspberry or plum, they would be wonderful. Whatever fruit the bride likes or the guest of honor likes, that's what I would use. And the butter in here is what keeps this nicely moist and holding together. Is yours holding together too? Mm-hmm. You know, I really like bar cookies because you can make a lot at one time.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of rolling and, you know, shaping them. That's what wears you down when you're making cookies. So I get a couple of really good bar cookies, and that's what I like to use. Now, what's your temperature on for those? 350. 350, okay. And what are you sprinkling on now?
I'm doing 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate morsels.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then it says you can do either pecans or coconut, and we're going to do some coconut on top of that.
Okay.
And then a can of condensed sweet milk. It's sprinkled
on top?
Yeah, on top.
Okay, and what I'm doing, I'm just doing my cherries. Now, this is a jar of cherry jam. You want to keep it from going to the very edge because when that bakes, if it gets stuck to the pan, it'll rip up your bars. So when you're putting this in there, keep it at least a ½ inch from the edge of your dish. And you're just going to spread this just like that. Oh, I love cherries, especially love cherries like this.
Well, cherries and almond. I'm excited about that.
Cherries and almonds are good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing wrong with them at all. You just spread it we just warm them up a little bit in the microwave and then let them cool down because we don't want to put hot fruit on this because that would not be good. I'll tell you, this is so, you can make this with apricot, you can make it with blackberry, I mean, whatever you really, really like. Strawberry, anything you like. Now, both of these are going to bake at 350. And all I'm going to do here is pat the rest of my dough to make another layer. And then they're going right into the oven. How easy is that?
These are such good, easy recipes.
They are, and you know they're tasty. And oh, that looks wonderful. That looks like a mom's board to me.
Oh, they're my favorite.
I love them. Okay. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now you're going to pour that, make sure that goes all evenly. Good girl. Because that has to, that's going to hold it all together. And that's also going to add that buttery flavor to that. Yummy, yes. Okay, we're just going to smooth these out, put them in the oven. We come back. 2 more wonderful cookies for your very special event. We'll be right back.
If you love At Home with Arlene Williams, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of episodes with all your favorite recipes, holidays, and friends.
Say hi to your fan club. Hi, fan club.
And don't forget to click the bell so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Well, we're part 2 of our cookies, making all kinds of cookies for weddings or special occasions. Tammy, you're going to make a dainty lace cookie, and I've made these many times. These are just, they're so pretty on a wedding platter, particularly. And I know you have some butter melted there. These are very easy, very, very easy, but you have to watch once that stuff gets hot. You don't want to get it on your fingers, okay?
Yeah, we did half a cup of butter and got that melted already. And then we're going to add everything else to it. It's nice and easy.
Okay, good.
Yep, nice and easy. So we're going to take 1/3 of a cup of flour,
Okay.
a cup of quick cooking oatmeal,
That's the quick kind, not the ones you have to cook and cook and cook, all right?
half a cup of sugar,
Okay.
and 1/4 of a teaspoon salt, and 2 tablespoons of milk.
Tablespoon, boy, that's easy. Very
then-
common,
yeah, now
very,
just
very
gonna-
common ingredients,
Just mix it up.
okay?
Nice and easy.
Now, while she's doing that, I have started, because I'm making peanut butter cup cookies, okay? And I've started with my butter. I have my butter in here, and I have, it's just a half a cup of creamy peanut butter and 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature. And now, I'm gonna add 2 eggs, whole eggs this time. They're going in. Some brown sugar. Oh yeah. Let's go make it good. I don't know of anybody that doesn't like peanut butter cups.
Oh, they're awesome.
What more could you want, I'm asking. Incredible. Okay, and then a little bit of vanilla. That's going in. You just want to mix that up till it's combined very well. Here I have some flour, and I have some salt, and I also have some baking powder. And make sure you get all that out of there because you need every bit of that. That's the leavening. Okay? And I'm going to take a fork, and I'm just going to incorporate that very well, just like that. It smells so good. And I'm going to add this a little at a time. Okay? We've got so many people helping us today because we've got a lot of cookies going on. And I'm going to add the first batch. You can see that looks very, very, very peanut buttery. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Looks good. So we're just going to let that come in until it mixes well. Then we're going to put more in. This is going to make a nice batter. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to show Tim. Let me show you how to do this. First of all, you drop this by teaspoons. So when you don't want a big cookie for a wedding, you want small, right? Where's your V shape? Over there. Sorry. You're going to drop that on there. Let me get this out of the way.
Okay.
Then all you do is you take and you keep spreading. Look how big this got already, just that little bit. Actually, that's too much. I'd take that much off.
Okay.
And you just keep pushing it down finer and finer. You want it to be as thin as it possibly can be. And you kind of want them to be shaped in a circle. Try to keep them as round as you possibly can. And that's all you do. Yeah,
that much?
scant. The scant teaspoon.
Okay.
Then they're going to bake in a 325 degree oven for just a few minutes.
Yeah.
But they are so good. The thinner you can get them, the better.
Okay.
And you just keep turning to make sure you get it as round as you possibly can. And that's a cookie, and you can make a gazillion of those. And they're nice to decorate, garnish with, or just to stack on a tray. It's a very good cookie. Okay, here goes the rest of my flour. We're almost there. These bake at 350 degrees. I think we're just about there. Look at that. Laura, I think we might need a little flour. This, depends on what kind of a day you're doing. This looks like a little soft. They would be hard to roll into a ball because that's what we need to do. So we start to add a little bit of flour, just a little bit at a time, because we don't want them, thank you. We don't want them to fall apart. Thanks, Laura. And so you just add a couple tablespoons until you see that they're a consistency that's going to hold into a ball. Let's take a look at it again. Better. Maybe just one little bit nip. One little bit more. There we go. We're there now.
It smells good already.
See, and it's already starting to gather together. That's how you know. See, it's how it's sticking? That's how you know. Okay, we need to get rid of this because we got to start working on this. Paul? Yes, Paul's here today. He's coming to help. Would you get rid of this for me, honey? Just put it on the back counter, okay? Thank you, dear. There we go. Excuse me, could I get one of these little scrapers in here? If I can find one. Let's see if there's another one here. No, you can. I'll use this. This will be good. Okay, scraping all this off. You want to stay and help me? Paul's really good at doing cookies.
Just one of these if you'd like.
Oh, thanks, dear. He's very good at help. He's the best because he really keeps everything, all the dishes washed up. And I appreciate that. You got somebody that does that, man. What else do you need, right? Exactly. Okay. Let's take this out. Show them that scoop we're going to use, Paul. That's like a 1-ounce scoop. And what we're going to do is just get in there and we're going to roll them into balls. But first, before we put them on the cookie sheet, we're going to roll them in sugar. And then we're going to bake them for 7 minutes. When you bring them out after baking 7 minutes, you're going to press one of these puppies right in the middle of that cookie. Put it back in and let it bake for another 6 minutes. You got the best cookie in the world. Yum. Okay. We got to get started so we can try these, okay? How are you coming along over there?
Good. How are they?
They're looking good. This one might need a little flatter.
Okay.
Okay, honey. Thank you. You know, as they say, many hands makes the work easier, and it really does. And here you go, babe. Roll them around. Make it into a ball, just like this. Roll it around, and then drop it in the sugar, because you need that coating. Pardon me? That's a little... Honey, let's make them round, not oblong. I love you.
You're live. How about that?
I better, huh, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
After 43 years, I better. Well, Tammy's doing hers, we're doing ours, and we're going to get them in the oven. And when we come back, we're going to show you everything we made today and some ideas of how to package them so you don't lose quality when they're in the freezer. We'll be right back.
To get all the recipes from today's show, plus hundreds of others, just click the link in the video description or visit our website, ctvn.org/at-home.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's program about wedding cookies or special event cookies. I have to take you a little jaunt around our counter here. These are these almond cherry bars. I'm telling you, the flakiness, that batter is incredible. And the little crumbs, because they might be crumbly, you want to save them and put them on top of ice cream. Awesome. Next to it is our peanut butter cups. You can see there they are, how pretty they look. They're wonderful, and kids will go for that, but so will adults, trust me. Next to that, we have our Dainty lace cookies, and these are so delicate. Look how little they are. But they're so delicate and light, you pop them into your mouth. That's a wonderful cookie, and that little bit of ingredients made all those cookies. That's an economical cookie, too. And then here is our candy bar cookies. That chocolate baking smells up the whole entire house, and I tell you what, everybody's going to go for those. That's a great, great cookie. You're not going to want to miss it. Let me explain to you. You want to get a good container that seals well, has a good lip on it. You want to always line it with wax paper. You have this. You want to line it with wax paper so if there's any smell or any aroma in here, it does not get on your cookies. Don't mix the flavors. You got the chocolate, you got the cherry, you put them together, neutralizes it. Put all one kind in one, even if it doesn't fill it up. Put more wax paper on the top. Put a piece of plastic wrap, clear outside, then snap the lid on. That will assure you to have really good, flavorful cookies. And you know what? I tell you, I've been talking about wedding cookies, but I've been thinking about the wedding of Cana. Just can't get it out of my spirit. Jesus went to that wedding. I wonder if there was cookies there that day. Of course, he had his mind on turning the water into wine, so maybe that was more important. But I hope you've enjoyed it today. Be sure to join us next week for part 2 of Wedding Cookies. We'll see you then.
Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.